On the line between two Iowa cities, Davenport and Bettendorf, sits a beautiful 18-hole golf course. Duck Creek Golf Course is a 5,800-yard par 70 with mature trees and dramatic elevation changes as the Duck Creek flows through the property. This course offers enough of a challenge for skilled golfers while not being too difficult for beginners. Duck Creek also has a 350-yard downhill driving range with several targets at different yardages. The only fault to this range is that it is a mats-only driving range that offers only about 15 hitting stations. The putting green is 130 feet long and 60 feet wide with plenty of break in all directions to help prepare you for the round ahead. Now, let's get started. Let me start off this round by saying I had developed a big case of the rights. You'll see that as the video goes on, but let's get started. Hole number 1 is a downhill par 4. Typically it's drivable, but in this round I really didn't hit too many drivers. I took a lot of 2 irons off the tee. You'll see that coming up. Just up the right rough here on hole number 1. This second shot is coming in perfectly. I land it just onto the green on the front side, and it hops forward, getting really close to the pin. It would actually roll up to about 3 feet here, and I tap in that for birdie. Good start to the round. Hole number 2, par 3. This green is kind of crowned, so you really want to be on the right side where the pin is. You want to be on the correct side where the pin is. And that ended up about pin high, maybe 20 feet to the right of the pin. This was a good stroke, just didn't give it quite enough power to get up the hill, and I tap in for par. Hole number 3. Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened. If I was just trying to go too fast or swung too hard or what happened. Second shot here. Was trying to get over that tree, but just clipped it at the very end and it knocked it down. The third shot, I knew I wasn't going to get to the green, so I just wanted to lay up to a spot that had an easy chip in. Here I have about 40 to 50 yards. And this is flying dead straight at the flag. Just lands right at pin high and bounces to the back of the green. You can actually see my ball mark there about 1.5 feet to the right of the hole. This putt is a really good stroke, looks really good the whole way, and just didn't turn at the end. 2 feet. It is a double bogey, but that birdie on 1 keeps me at 1 over par. This is the start of the case of the rights. This shot I was really trying to punch out to where those arrows are and with a fade. And that's really what I did. Just hit it a little bit too far to the right, but it worked out really well. Got me just to the front of the green. A really good chip up here that bounces maybe 15 feet short of the flag and rolls up to maybe 2.5 or 3 feet. And a good par from where that drive was. Hole 5, this hole is usually drivable if you hit a good drive. This shot just tapered down to the left here. Ended up getting me behind a tree. I was really just trying to bump this up to the green here. That worked out really well. Left me with about 8 to 10 feet for a birdie. And this green has a lot of slope from back to front, and it just broke too hard. And a tap in there for par. Another miss to the right on hole 6. Thankfully, I was long enough that I was past all the trees. I only had to go over a couple of branches on this last tree. This flop shot was about 80 yards. I hit it really well with just a little bit of a pull. I missed to the left. Got me to the front side of the green to a middle pin. At about 25 feet here for a birdie. You can see the rain started to fall on this hole. It only happened for one hole, maybe 10 minutes of rain, and then it went away. Hole 7 is a longer par 4, just under 400 yards. Really good drive up the middle there. Had about 70 yards in here, just trying to land this in the middle of the green and have it bounce back to this back pin. Landed a little bit shorter than I wanted to, left me in the middle of the green. A lot more break from left to right than I saw when I had hit this putt, but a good tap in here for 2.5 feet for par. All the par 3s in this golf course are pretty short. This one here is about 140 yards. And this shot just bounced on the front of the green and hopped to the back of the green because the greens were wet from that little 10 minutes of rain. Really good downhill putt here from about 25 feet, tapping in for par. Hole 9. This is a hole that you can take driver on at that big tree on the corner, but for me, the way the wind was, it was downwind. I didn't want to risk going through the fairway, so I just hit a 2-iron out to the corner. And here I had about 200 yards in with a 6-iron. And this is drawing in absolutely perfectly. And I have about 8 feet left here for eagle. And it just breaks at the very end. Didn't see that break. Tap in for birdie. I'll take that all day. Even par on the front 9. Hole 10. If you take driver on this hole, you tend to go through the fairway. If you're going to take driver, you want to hit a big draw around the corner. But I really didn't want to do that on this shot, so I just took 2-iron over the tree on the corner. Got me right in the middle of the fairway. This was about 250 yards out, and I just double crossed this shot. Straight left. Not a good shot. But I'm chipping from basically 25 or 30 yards off the green. I land it by the flag and it rolls to the back of that green. Here I have about 20 feet for birdie and a really good putt there for birdie. And it's back-to-back birdies on 9 and 10. Hole 11, another short par 3. I believe it was only about 110 yards where this pin was today. And this lands just on the front of the green. Has a lot of spin, so it stops short of that front right pin. You can see just how close to the edge of that green that pin is. This green is really big too. That pin is just a sucker pin. And just a slight misread here on the putt, but a tap in for par. Hole 12, uphill, par 4. Again, a driver miss to the right. Had some branch problems here that I just wanted to stay under. I just pulled this chip just a little bit with the slope of the hill. Now I have about 15 to 20 feet for a birdie. And at the very end of that putt, it just got really bumpy. Stayed short, but a tap in for par. Hole 13, the longest par 4 of the course. It started out to be a good drive, but it just fell to the left and then took a big hop to the left onto the tee box that was left of this hole. Only about 135, 140 yards in here with a good draw coming in at the green. Middle of the green to a back pin, about 15, 20 feet here. A good birdie putt just past the hole. I gave it a run though, and a tap in here for par. Hole 14. This hole is drivable, only 300 yards. If you're not a very long hitter, the safe play is to hit about 200-yard shot to the middle of the fairway, but anybody who can carry the ball about 260 should be going for that green. And this ball just went up and faded perfectly, landing just short of the green and rolling up. Now I have about 35 feet here, and I put an absolutely terrible stroke on this putt, and I pulled it probably 2.5 feet left of my line. And this left me with about 5 feet downhill slider that I missed low side, and I 3-putt. A golfer's worst nightmare is to drive the green and 3-putt for par. Par 3, just missed the green short, but an easy chip or putt up to this pin. I didn't quite hit this firm enough. I left myself with about 4 or 5 feet short of the pin, but tapped that in for par. Hole 16. This is another hole that is drivable. I've driven this green in the past. I've driven over this green in the past, but the way that the wind was, it would have pushed the ball to the right. With my miss to the right today, I really wasn't going to do that. Yeah, just a really thin lie there. Very firm lie. Just hit a poor shot. From behind the green, just a flop shot over these pine trees. And a putt for par. Misses just a hair to the right. And I tap in for bogey to go to even par. Hole 17 is a par 5. Again, a miss to the right. This wasn't terrible. I had enough room over there, but again, I'm not where I need to be. You really want to be on the left side of this fairway. The rough on this shot just kind of pulled my hosel down and shut my club face, missing to the left. This was a really wet lie, just got right under the golf ball and missed short. There goes the ball, right back down to the right side. This chip from basically the exact same lie, I hit really, really well to about 2.5 or 3 feet. And I tap in that for par. A very ugly par, but a par nonetheless. Hole 18, a par 3 finishing hole. You don't see that very often. Missed the green just a hair to the right. It tried to draw back, but the wind was holding it up. Slightly uphill putt into the grain, into the wind. I really should have hit this putt a little harder. I left myself with about a 7-foot par putt here that I just hit firmly dead center, and I hit it, made par, shooting even par on the round. There's the scorecard. 3 birdies, 1 bogey, 1 double, even par. This round of 18 holes in the cart only cost $36. It really is a fun golf course, and I recommend you guys go out and play it for yourself. Their number's on the screen. If you guys want to go out there and play, give them a call. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's it for this one.